What's up, Guardians? It's Cheese for Never up in here whipping up a big batch of your daily dose of Destiny Joker's Wild content for you right now today on April 1st, 2019. I just want to take a second to ask you to like this video and subscribe to my channel for quick and to-the-point content that we all know you love to watch on repeat. You might think that Destiny is dead, but I'm telling you right now it's as live as jiggling jello. Let's get right into the action. But first, let me tell you about my giveaway. I know you've heard it before, but let me tell you again. My giveaway starts and ends today, so don't wait. It can be combined with any other offer. Act now and you could win nothing. But if you win, you can have nothing. All you have to do is sign up at youcouldwinnothing.com. You Could Win Nothing is also our paid sponsor for this video. Use promo code CHEESEFORNEVER to receive 0% off at checkout. The rules are simple. You must like, subscribe, follow me on InstaFame, No Space, and Sitter. Then fill out a lengthy form on your youcouldwinnothing.com. Now that the introductions are done, I'm going to tell you a little story. One day, I was doing Crowder's End, and I was on the Death Singers. I got my first Gallhorn.
And his name is John C.
But anyways, pre-alpha beta Vegeta player here, and I didn't know the gun was going to be that good, because, I heard about it, but I didn't really know, My first exotic was Red Death, and boy, was it good. Forever 29, but man, I beat the crap out of D1. Got the whole Triumphs book done in solo flawless Crowder for that crispy achievement. Rest in peace, bridge checkpoint. I've met plenty of fantastic Guardians along the way. I can't imagine if I started this channel in D1, the cheese was with us. I don't know if it's just me or what, but I love cheesing content. Like, I can obviously do the content legit, but why go through the extra trouble? Half the exploits nowadays are considered strategies. Taking less time means you can do more. And my oh so precious time can be spent on making longer videos like this one. So let's cheese for never, guys. Destiny is like a pizza. It's got all the right ingredients, but it's not finished without the cheese. Baked in the ovens at time. Does anybody have patience for that? No bro, go invis and get out. This game is another language and it takes effort for 2 tokens and a blue. You can't understand the right side of wrong without the wrong side of right. It's like saying because you watch YouTube you know how to raid. You have to experience the game and be moved by it to understand the encounters. That feeling when you could get a better devils. That feeling when you accidentally dismantled something awesome. That feeling when you used the thing that you hated because it got buffed. Or the fact that every good thing in life must be bought out by Hasbro and nerfed to the ground. We must discover every inch of this game has to offer because there is no equal. Zavala will always be our biggest disappointment. One look and you know he can shoulder the weight of the world on those big shoulder pads. When you think the Drifter is shifty, but you wonder why Zavala Wallo is behind that door to yell at Anna Bay over a robot. I bet out of the whole Vanguard he's the only guy who defends Uldren's return. Guaranteed, people in the tower will be aiming their thorns at pulled pork to make sure there is no resurrection this time. We are our own Guardian. We will tear down civilizations, but we will not sit atop of their throne. We want Earth to be in disarray. We want powerful beings to rise up. If we killed everything, how would we survive? We live for the hunt. If the city was safe, we would go insane. Maybe Zavala helped the Cabal destroy the city. Maybe he was so tired of standing around he brought the action to himself, disabled our defenses, and that's why he's so depressed, knowing he was the reason for all those deaths. We dress up in the flashiest armor and stand in the middle of the action. We wish for death. And it will not come for us like it did for Cade. There are endless powers in this universe, and we are only one step away from bringing Cade back. All it takes is a stroke of luck, and he's back. The RNGesus King, Jesus Christ himself, will show himself. The architects cannot keep us away. If we play our cards right and wear our lucky pants, there is hope for the future. The light only gives us the ability to live. The darkness gives us a reason and a purpose. We aren't a stranger to the darkness. I can't tell which side we're on. There are no mistakes in our actions, no regrets. We are selfish beings. We kill and take what we want, then we dismantle it in front of our vendors. I don't think the sweeper bots can keep up. No wonder Benedict went rogue. Why do we have so many currencies anyway? I even have my ghost attach labels to them to tell me what they were for. I freaking walk up to Banshee with a heaping load of crap, and he's like, bruh, have a weapon. Where does he put it all? Where do I put it all? 2 words, space magic. And let me tell you, it's space magic that keeps me going. It feels so good to destroy things with overwhelming force. Screw primary ammo. I can rocket 3 dregs if I want to. Gonna leave those dregs behind. Because the strikes don't last, and if they don't last, then they're just falling behind. Say, why is there never enough vault space? Like, I realize I have a problem with hoarding, but you never freaking know when something might come in handy. Like, I have 35 XP boost consumables. Don't ask me how I acquired 35 boxes of Pop-Tarts, but you know, they're worthless. Because Fireteam medallions do more than XP booster. It's a poor man's Fireteam medallion. Like on the box, it's called Motes of Light. And in my head, in D1, Motes of Lights were like, oh, it's end-all be-all currency. You can do anything with it. People nowadays are comparing their triumph score and whatnot, but back in the day, you're like, I have 1,400 strange coins, 2,900 Motes of Light, and 100 exotic shards. I actually have that much in my currencies right now. Heck, I still have 900 Hadronic Essence and Sapphire Wire from freaking year 1. Destiny 1 brought me through a rough time in life. Like, it filled a void that Call of Duty never could. And when I go back to D1 and do stuff, I still see people enjoying that game. It feels nostalgic because it's been so long. I feel younger even loading it up. It's satisfying. I guess that's how old people feel when they go to arcades. But what's sad is, after these servers die, Destiny can't be played forever. Like, what will I do in 10 years when the game is literally unplayable? I can always pretend I'm shooting at the loot cave. I mean, the game was unplayable back then too. Which reminds me about Cades 6. It was supposed to be a Bungie comic with an awesome team, and it never happened. They said it was delayed. It's not happening. Why is it that some things work out amazing and other things are just forgotten? Like Exotic Catalyst. I mean, I always hoped we'd have Arms Week. All these decent scrapped ideas in Bungie. And then we get crap like Crimson Days where I had already had everything, and you only had 1 week to do it. I don't know if Bungie realizes it, but there are only going to be like 3 events for each holiday before Destiny 3, and if you miss one, you're basically screwed out of getting unique loot for half of the life cycle of the game. Half-Life 3 confirmed. They had a thing for PAX West once, where they talked about King's Fall. The dick walls, more specifically, from the jumping puzzle. Apparently, they had to modify the protrusions to look less graphic during development. I can only imagine that one day the boss walked in and saw pornography on their work computers, and it covered up they said they were getting inspiration for the King's Fall raid. Feels bad. Who actually decided that 6 people raids was a magic number for endgame content? Like, did they say to themselves 4 isn't enough, 8's too much, we can't have an odd number? Destiny is a friend game, but it is near impossible to get 5 other friends together at the same time, for like 2 hours. Like, early LFG days were a struggle. We didn't have Discord, Bungie LFG, Xbox LFG, or nothing. I was on DestinyLFG.com or DestinyLFG.net to get my crap done. And if you got stuck with a guy who was a few fries short of a Happy Meal, you all got frustrated and the whole group disbanded. Now we got apps and convenience. The Bungie app even let us add kill trackers to our Forsaken exotics for free. Like my 1K Voices has over 2,000 kills tracked on it. Never gonna delete it. If it's simple enough to do it on an app, why not make that a thing? Like, I would kill to play Destiny while I'm not able to play. I was throwing kill trackers on all my legendaries too. Like, how hard would it be to make some crap Destiny minigame on your phone that gives me Glimmer in-game? Like, come on, it's freaking Glimmer. Heck, I played Magic Carp Jump because it was funnier than crap. How hard would it be to use lore to make something interesting? Not hard, I'm sure. The weapons of sorrow are not the endgame, but a roadmap. Each evolution, every advance in the delivery of pain and the mastery of destruction feeds the Hive's hateful weapons research. They will map every scream, harness every aggression, until they understand every method by which to ravage the hearts, minds, and flesh of man. And in doing so, they will turn us against ourselves, feeding our lust, our greed, our fear, until we become a threat unto ourselves like none we could imagine. So wield these, angry Reaper. Strive to know the darkness in your own heart. Walk in the shadows of fallen heroes, and know that you're the enemy of hope. Boom, interesting. Why is it that there are so many great things about the game, but I don't see people improving them? I mean, the state of Destiny was described as a buffet for locusts. We are the locusts. Destiny attracts all types of people. PvP, PvE, collectors, fashionistas, hoarders, raiders, casuals, squeakers, no-lifers, achievement hunters, glitchers, streamers, YouTubers, solo players, communities that eat this game alive. And they will never be satisfied. What makes this game great is the variety. But variety spreads it too thin. So what does Bungie do? Screws over PvP people, no trials. For the sole reason that they don't have an easy enough idea to implement with their current staffing. So the PvP team, who probably enjoys PvP, is stuck working on something less interesting. Their hearts are probably not in it, and they won't get that instant gratification that all players and creators deserve. A looter shooter is based on instant gratification, and if they don't feel inspired while building, then we won't get the best Destiny has to offer. Instant gratification is when you worked hard and at the end of that journey this inspiring loot pops up on your screen, and you feel like your time was justified. Now that also means there needs to be situations where your luck is so bad that you're disappointed, but that makes it so much more powerful when you actually get what you want. Not getting the item after 30 chances is just depressing though, which leads to people giving up. So there has to be a healthy balance. Like screw that Dreaming City Ghost Shell. I'm happy to have something to do, truly, but doing a Senate challenge for 6 months 3 times a week, like I could be spending my time going for obscure triumphs and helping friends, but no, I'm running around with my cash detector ghost picking berry and bow because I've had to buy so many tinctures I don't have materials or tinctures. I would trade masterwork cores for them at this point. But honestly, thank the architects we can't trade in this game. The economy would be so jacked up. Imagine offering a random rolled raid weapon to some guy who doesn't even raid. They would be offering a planetary match, shards, glimmer, and the shell off their ghost. I can imagine a RuneScape scenario where year 1 cosmetic items would be like hundreds of masterwork cores. The looking for trade posts would be flooding the forums. I don't understand why some people refuse to LFG though. Yeah, LFG can be awful, but you can leave. I think LFG is entertaining most of the time. You never know what you'll find. Like this funny EP story.
Yo, I told him he's got infectious laugh, bro.
Dude, back like when we were kids, he would load up his laugh. He was like, like a Kamehameha, bro. Legit. He was just like, and then he releases it. Bro,
Oh, Nanny, you killed me, bro. I can't see. I can't see.
Oh.
There's eyes. My eyes are burning.
I'm being serious, Cruiser. Dude.
I feel like some laughs are just contagious, you know. People laughing make you want to laugh. Meeting people isn't always a bad thing. Even if it's not the quickest solution, it could be the better solution. Sometimes people are so bad I'm laughing at them, or sometimes you're just screwing around and someone joins in. Like you don't have to take the game seriously. It's entertainment, not a job. Heck, 75% of the time people are playing activities just for the completions, not even the loot. Not for the people. Hardcore raiders are going for the completions even though they don't get loot. Milestones are dragging people through every activity for the completion. Not loot. Just for more power level. They don't need wins in PvP, Gambit, or Gambit Prime. It's relaxing. And sure, teammates might think you're an idiot, but you didn't solo queue for them. I feel like one of the main things holding solo players back is time commitment. They probably have less time and they want to feel rewarded. What is the latest example of solo play? The Thorn. It will likely take solo players a week to get Thorn. That is if they can beat the strike. The main thing holding them back in that strike is power level. The other thing is no matchmaking. While I enjoy power leveling, it does take like 40 hours of playtime to hit max power level. I add all my characters to 700 in week 2. Players that can only allocate 10 hours a week though, will likely pick the most fun activities for themselves, not trying to level up. They will get to the Thorn Strike unable to complete it. Even at recommended power it's rough. So I have 2 things against solo players. It should have been a low power requirement. The difficulty of the strike itself was hard. That's a good thing now and then. It was like a Nightfall. Speaking of Nightfalls, I think Nightfall handicaps are 100% against the solo player. Setting modifiers is fine, but people shouldn't have the option to control handicap, and the latest iteration of this is the worst. So many people thought it was bugged when 100 handicap doesn't increase your score multiplier. This change also makes it physically impossible to get a higher score than last season, ruining the whole idea of higher scores every season. Most solo players can't reach 100k with this system. Lower high scorer means that they will have a less chance at getting Nightfall specific loot, and if they don't get 100k, then they don't get that powerful drop. That leads to frustration and giving up. Solo players have it harder to begin with. Why create systems that put them at a significant disadvantage? Why not make it where solo players get increased score multipliers to compensate for their disadvantage? Needless to say, non-matchmaking activities that are designed with the ability to be completed solo should have a low power level requirement. People should be playing for the rewards, not some number. Light level advantages should exist in some match-made activities, but the power requirement shouldn't be high enough to cause solo players the inability to complete them. Skill level should be the deciding factor on whether someone is ready to take on the challenge. After the first month, power level is only keeping casual players from doing hard content. If the game needs more players, why keep them at a simulated disadvantage? They are doing less damage to enemies because they play less than the person next to them. Time spent should be rewarded more cosmetically than functionally. Someone who has good RNG with power drops should not do more damage. Casual players need more help, not less. The power and handicap system is designed to punish players who don't have a long time to play. Those players still want to enjoy the game. Great examples of this: Escalation Protocol, Blindwell, Forges, and the Reckoning. In some cases, power requirements were actually dropped for those activities. People are loading in under the recommended power and even ruining the experience for other players. They want to do the new content, but the system punishes them too harshly. My solution to this problem? Crank up the power surge bounties. Every week, increase the power level of the rewards for those bounties all the way up to the point it's supposed to be hard to power level. In week 1, power surge bounties should bring them up to 640, week 2 to 650, week 3 to 660, week 4 to 670, week 5 to 680, week 6 to 685, and week 7 to 690. That would allow solo players to enjoy the end game and earn it too. They would still have to earn max power. Players who are above recommended power levels now have more players to play with, because the game is enabling them to have a clear path to progression, as well as the current milestones as an optional path with instant gratification. I'm not saying it should be easier to power level, but at what point does power level take away from the community and the solo player? I think that point is after the first month. The dedicated players are max power and have what they need at that point, and solo players need help and a reason to come back to Destiny. Not reasons to be bored and frustrated about power level. Like, I'm not saying we should cater to casuals, but heck, I don't mind being the first to have something, and then a month and a half later sharing that with casuals. 2 months in, I want to have people to play Reckoning with, rather than a person who's doing crap for damage. Even the Tier 3 matchmaking restriction wouldn't need to be there if they fixed the issue of power leveling not being casual player friendly.
Cheese forever, Guardian.